How I do? And this is Turn Up for Books. I know I've said that I will leave it and I ain't gonna bother doing it again, but you know, here I am. I'm here, I'm doing it again. It pisses me off too, you know, people keep saying they're quitting and then coming back all the time. So I know for a fact that this is annoying, but I thought I'd have another go at this. Truth be told, I've been thinking about it for a bit, thinking about what I was going to do, because pickups aren't coming thick and fast anymore. I don't really collect anymore. I've not sort of... When it comes to retro stuff, I've got what I want, and what I haven't got is too expensive. So I was thinking that I was like kind of going to do what I've been doing on Instagram anyway. If there's anyone that follows me on there, when I finish a game, I tend to do a little sort of write-up on it, just a couple of paragraphs, and then give it a rating. And I was kind of thinking I want to talk more about that, like at length. I love talking about games. I don't have much of an outlet to do that. So, you know, I decided at first I was going to try and do a podcast. I love podcasts. Podcasts are like my big thing. They're like, if I'm out and about and I've got headphones on, I'm always listening to a podcast. So, and I also struggled to find a decent gaming podcast. Anybody has any recommendations, give me a shout. I used to listen to Filthy Casuals. I don't anymore. I got bored of it. And I haven't really found anything to fill the gap. So yeah, if anyone's got any recommendations on decent gaming podcasts, I'd like to know. I tried to make a podcast, got Griffo on board from Griffo's Retro Gaming. We tried to do it over the internet. Various technical difficulties happened, and that knocked my confidence a lot. And then I ended up having sort of like a tiny little breakdown about it, and knocked that one on the head. What I want is someone to do it with face-to-face in the same room. That way we don't have to, you know, it's easier to bounce off each other, we don't talk over each other as much, and you don't have to worry about things like crappy internet. But I don't really know anybody nearby. I used to have a mate who I would have loved to do it with, but he's moved away to, like, I think last time I knew he was living in Barnsley. It's a bit far for travelling every day. Well, every sort of week or two. So yeah, if the opportunity to do the podcast, like I said, does arise, then I would drop this like a hot sack of shit, and I'd get back on with that. But yeah, the thing is with podcasts as well is you need someone to bounce off when you're talking. Literally listening to one voice talk is boring. So I thought maybe I'd be better sort of redoing it in like a video format. Maybe put the audio out as well. That's something I'm toying with, but video format, then at least I can try and make it look interesting. See, that's one thing I was thinking of. And then I was talking to Eddie Rollercore the other day about, you know, coming back to YouTube and stuff, because you know what Eddie's like. He's always trying to push you into doing something, buying something, or, you know, putting yourself out there. And he was telling me I should come back, and I believe what I told him was I would rather fuck a cactus than come back to YouTube. So yeah, he must have got in my head a little bit, because I thought about it for the next few days, and here I am. So I best buy myself a cactus, really, hadn't I? For those who don't know me, my name is Pete. I've been absent for about 18 months now. I've been knocking around some of the gaming markets. Met a couple of new guys. I can't remember what the channels were, but you know, I met a couple of new guys at Doncaster who I'd just never met before. So the scene moved on without me, it seems. But yeah, I used to YouTube, do all the pickups and all that kind of thing, and I got sick of it and left, and just decided to give it another go. I'm more of a player than a collector, as you probably realised. But for those who do know me, this is what I've kind of been up to for the last few months. Well, so what did I do? I've had a remodel in here. You can probably see it behind me. I used to have like the big Expedit, I think it was called, before Calax came about. Big TV unit with a 42-inch TV in there. That's gone. I realised I had 3 TVs in here. I had 4 TVs. I had a 42-inch there. I had the CRT behind, and then on this desk in front of me I had 2 more small. I think they were like 21-inch TVs, and I only ever really used one of the 21-inch TVs. The rest of them just kind of sat there. So, and that was like 15 years old. I got it when I got it as a wedding present. So it's just coming up on 15 years old, and it was starting to fail. So I kind of bundled those TVs away, apart from the CRT, and got this like 28-inch, I think it is, Philips curved monitor on my desk, which is a lovely piece of kit. It's the same one my wife used downstairs for work, so I knew it was decent. And I've just set up all my consoles on shelves, and all the wire. Well, I've got a USB cable and a HDMI cable hooked up to the TV at all times, and then all the wires otherwise sort of tucked behind these consoles at the time, so I can just get one off the shelf, hook it up, and play when I want to play. Or, you know, if it's a pre-HDMI console, I can hook it up to the CRT and play there. It's working well for me. There's a lot less things plugged in at once. There's a lot less daisy chaining of like wires and stuff, so it's a lot less of a fire hazard. So yeah, everything's working out great for me. Collection wise, like I said, I've got everything sort of retro wise that I wanted, or the rest of it I just can't afford. So I'm moving on to sort of smaller subsets just to keep me occupied, keep me interested. I've been working on getting all the Yakuza games. That's like everything I can get in PAL, I'm getting in PAL, and then filling in the gaps with the Japanese exclusives. So yeah, I polished a few of those off at Doncaster Market earlier this year, but I've got like 3 games left to get PAL wise, including Yakuza 2, which is the big hitter. And then I've got just I think 3 Japanese ones to get as well, which is the HD collection on PS3 and then the 2 PSP exclusives. So yeah, it's a nice little subset I'm working on. I'm also really like enjoying collecting cheap, either physical or code-in box Switch games. I'm enjoying building the red wall up there, and it's cool because there's some really good like indie games and stuff on the Switch that are quite cheap to get, especially if you get code-in box. I know people hate code-in box, but you know, I'm not buying as an investment. I'm buying because I want to try these games out, and you know, I get code-in box, I get a playable game, and I get a little box to put on the shelf, so everyone's a winner. What else did I do? I mentioned that I've been going to markets and stuff. I managed to be the star of a YouTube video that got 18,000 views.
Okay, as you can see, it's getting busier in here. I have spent way more than I thought I would.
And aside from that, the only other big thing that happened is I found out that I found out the hard way. There's a leak in my attic, and there's water coming in. Fuck's sake. So yeah, going forward, what I want to do with the channel this time, I'll still want to do pickups as and when they happen. What I'll probably do is, when I get new games, I will just make a pile of what I've got, and when there's a big enough pile to do a pickups video, I'll just do everything I've got since the last one, basically. So it'll not be stuff I've bought like sort of up to date. It won't be like this is what I've got this week or anything. It'll be like this is what I've got over the last couple of months since I last did one. But I'll still do that. I know that's what a lot of people like tune in to see. So yeah, I'll be doing that kind of thing. I'm going to do 2 series on top of that called Completed It and Binned It. Completed It essentially is going to be what I've been doing with the 52 game challenge on Instagram. Is whenever I finish a game, I'll do a little write up about it and give it a score. But I want to sort of talk about that more at length, as I said earlier. So I'm going to basically be keeping notes about the games that I'm playing as I'm playing them, and when I finish, if I feel it's worth a video, then I will make a video on the game and just talk about it, say what I wanted, maybe put it out on Instagram first that I'm going to do it, and if other people have like things that they want me to bring up about it, or my opinion on stuff, they can send me sort of questions or videos of themselves asking the questions. That'd be cool. This is literally just me spitballing ideas that are just coming into my head as I talk. The other one would be sort of a companion series to that called Binned It, which is basically the stuff that I don't finish because it's terrible. So yeah, just 2 sides of the same coin really. And the last one, which is what this is going to fall into, is just going to be called Waffle, which is, you know, I've tried to do a series a number of times called Guns and Waffle, which was like a sort of in-joke with the TMB guys, basically trying to incorporate me talking shit and trying to incorporate my light gun collection in there as well, but I just couldn't think of a decent format, so yeah, just Waffle. I'll just be talking shit, whatever I think about, whatever I want to talk about. Doesn't have to be gaming really, just whatever I want to talk about I will talk about, which I know will get no views because I've done that in the past and it's got no views, but some things, you know, some things need to come out. So yeah, they're the kind of things I want to do going forward. I'm still my spare time's at a premium, so I'm not going to be that community minded. So if that's what people are coming to see, then I'm sorry, but it's not happening. I tend to get very frustrated if I try to be community minded, because I'm sort of quite opinionated lately, and quite argumentative, and it's something I'm trying to work through as well. That's just something to do with how my head is. And I'm finding myself, sort of disagreeing with a lot of people politically and shit, so... And on top of that, I get very sort of frustrated if I can't keep up with things, and it's very blatant that I'm not keeping up with things, so I'm sort of trying to keep out of group chats and stuff like that. But I will... I mentioned I listen to a lot of podcasts, and I listen to them at work on my break and stuff, so I'm going to try and start watching people's videos and stuff on my break at work, instead of just thumbing away at a mobile game and listening to podcasts, and try and sort of keep on top of things that way. So yeah, I'm not going to be the most community active person. If you subscribe to me, you're not guaranteed to get a sub back and me watch all your stuff, because I just don't have time. So if that's what you want from me, I'm sorry, but yeah. But at the end of the day, if you want to watch a fat guy from Sheffield talk about games, then here I am. If you don't, off you fuck. Hopefully I'll see you around. This has been weird.